Hi, friends. Welcome to the Secrets of a Witch podcast with me, Sabrina Scott. Happy Tuesday. In case you guys didn't catch it from my newsletter or from my YouTube, there is a brand new tarot and oracle card vibe forecast for the week ahead that was uploaded onto my YouTube. So you can check that out at not on my website, at youtube.com/Sabrina Scott. I'm so used to just saying stuff is on my website, but this is on YouTube. It's in the live section. And the vibes for this week are pretty cool. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. There's no major arcana. It's a lot of wands cards. And it's super, super interesting pull. There's no swords. And this week, you have to listen to the thing to see the whole information about it. But there's a lot of focusing, a lot of paring down, a lot of getting rid of whatever it is. It wastes our time and drains our energy. Because the wands, that's our life force, that's our vitality, that's our inner fire. And we can only lead the best, happiest version of our life that is the most fulfilled if we are constantly doing an audit of how the fuck it is we're spending our time. And in some of our cases, and honestly, sometimes even in my case, how we're wasting our time. Time is money, time is energy, time is vitality. We can choose to spend time on things that give us more energy, make us more energized, activate our life force even more, or we can spend time on doing stuff that honestly doesn't really bring us any benefit, joy, learning, anything like that. So anyway, pop on over to YouTube to listen to the whole thing. And as always, I put in some spicy oracle cards as well as some super hippy-dippy oracle cards to kind of balance us out for the week. So go check that out. Again, it's just youtube.com/Sabrina Scott. Another reminder is Magic May is coming up super quick. We are almost in May. I can't believe it. 1 week left of April. Where the fuck did the time go this year? Honestly, it has just zoomed by. I'm in shock with how we're already almost halfway through the year. It's insane. So if you want to join for Magic May, it is daily magical prompts, inspiration, magical questions, magical vibes. There's 28 people signed up already. So it's going to be the most fun group chat you have ever participated in. Daily stuff from me. So if you're struggling with feeling inspired about your magical practice, whether you're a brand new practitioner or whether you've been practicing for 30 years and you're just fucking exhausted and kind of uninspired, I got you. Magic May is the vibe. Check it out, sabrinamscott.com/magicmay. It's only $47. It will be super, super fun. It's less than $2 a day, you guys. For real. You should just sign up. It'll be so fun. And also, this coming Sunday, I am doing Recession Era Witchcraft. That is a masterclass for $97. And the whole fucking point behind that, and that is coming so soon. I can't believe I'm teaching it on Sunday. But there, of course, will be a recording. But this time is wild, right? It's economic crisis, housing crisis, at least here in Canada. The price of everything is insane. My grocery bill is tripled. I don't even understand what the fuck is going on. Everything is crazy right now. And I think it's so easy for us to forget, oh my God, we're spiritual people. Well, we're witches. We know how to do magic. We know how to create change. That's what magic is all about, is creating change in accordance with our will. And sometimes, yes, that is not going to be a hippie, ephemeral, spiritual goal. That is going to be a practical, tangible, physical transformation that we want to summon up into our life. That's what magic is all about. So if you're sick of just surviving and you're interested in learning how to thrive with your magical practice, if you're interested in learning some tips and tricks how to do magic on a budget, this is 100% for you. Recession era witchcraft on Sunday. Again, there's going to be recordings so you can't attend live. Don't worry, I got you. Learn more at sabrinamscott.com/recession, and I really do hope to see you there. Okay, so those are my 2 cheap little things that are going to be so fun that are coming up around the corner. I'm just so excited. So I want to get into today's topic, which is about ancestor work, lineage, ancestral, feminine energy. I talked about this a little bit in a group call with some of my past Magic and Tarot Without Bullshit students. If anyone is interested in joining for the next cohort, which starts in the summer, send me an email, ceo@sabrinamscott.com, as our conversations have been fucking fire. So good. And I'm not going to divulge like the nitty gritty of what we got into. Obviously, it's private, it's confidential within the group, but it got me thinking a lot more about that topic that we had discussed in that session, which, to kind of sum it up, was thinking about healing the ancestral lineages in our family, and particularly in the case of what we talked about in the class, the session, the group coaching situation, and in terms of what I'm thinking about in my work, is specifically healing female, feminine, ancestral lineages, and thinking about how our women ancestors have been treated over time. What are the wounding bits, the wounds, the bad habits, the limiting beliefs, the traumas? Like, what is it that has been on the backs of our ancestors? And this is a little bit different than just like what is the intergenerational family trauma of like the family system and like the network of relationships that gets repeated. That's its own thing, and obviously an incredibly important thing. Like, that's something I've spent a lot of time dealing with, healing, because that shit repeats itself, like, I kid you not. But in addition to that, thinking specifically about like what has been the role of women in your family historically. Has the woman always been the one who doesn't have the luxury to collapse? Has the women in your family always been the ones that have worked themselves to the bone, sacrificed their own identity, their own time, their own energy, their own desires for others? And it's interesting, right? Because like with womanhood, that often gets held up as a really positive quality. That often gets held up as the only way to be a woman, or the best way to be a woman. You know, women are self-sacrificing. Women put everyone else above themselves. And honestly, if that's the definition of woman, it makes sense why a lot of people abandon that, you know? And I know when I was identifying as non-binary, I know that was a big part of my rejection of womanhood as well. I was like, no, I don't want to be this, you know, self-sacrificing, like take care of everybody else before even thinking about my own needs, et cetera, type of person. I was like, there's no way. That's not for me. That's not how I see myself and my gender. And so it took me a long time to learn that there were alternative modes of femininity and there are alternative experiences of womanhood. And I know that sounds very obvious, but to me it really wasn't for a really long time. It took me a long time to realize that, oh, there's like other ways of being a woman that don't involve sacrificing every inch of my being and my spirit and my passions to make myself small so that other people can thrive and be comfortable. Oh, I don't have to pretend that I'm not as smart as I am. Oh, I don't have to, you know, whatever, fill in the blank. I can make a long list forever. And I'm sure a lot of you listening can also make a long list forever, right? As a common experience. And so I think when we today embrace femininity, feminine energy, womanhood, etc., whatever, which way we want to call it, however we want to identify with it, when we embrace that on our own terms, infuse it with our own values, infuse it with our own goals, vision, and dreams for our life, it becomes something different. It becomes something powerful. And we can begin to heal our lineage. We can begin to say, thank you, Grandma, for being here. Thank you. If it's your mother, for me, it's not, but maybe in your family, thank you, Mother, for being here, etc. You don't have to sacrifice anymore. I appreciate your sacrifice, and now I'm going to break that cycle. I'm going to decide that my life is going to be different, and I'm going to occupy this space of feminine energy, of womanhood, of the feminine divine embodied in a completely different way. I'm going to heal this aspect of my ancestry. And when we're thinking about witchcraft and spirituality and how does this fit into it, obviously it does, in my opinion. And a lot of witchcraft practice, at least the way that I think about it, involves, if you want, connecting with ancestral spirits, connecting with your ancestors, whether that's the ancestors as a big blob or like specific ancestors by name, doesn't really matter. But healing those ancestral ties, healing that lineage, and also healing the stories about gender and gendered energy that we've been taught, whether that's explicitly taught, implicitly taught, or whether that's stuff that we've just energetically picked up based on like the inheritance of the vibes. Is all of that who you want to be? Is there a way that you can honor your female ancestors by putting up an altar, by giving offerings, by meditating, by chatting with them in the spirit realm, and healing some of that stuff that they've given to you? They might not realize they did it. They might not even try to do it. But healing these unspoken, unthought of patterns that we all have. Choosing to occupy this space, this body, our energetic vibration in a completely different way. Rather than just repeat, those cycles that we are just kind of so embedded in that we don't even think about it. And so that's part of why I do think this feminine energy stuff can be so powerful, is it can be this intentional attention to these lineages, to these narratives that become spiritually embedded in our entire being, in our entire worldview, without us even realizing it. And so we do have this opportunity to reprogram our energetic field, to reprogram our minds, to reprogram our relationship to our gender and what all of that means. And moving away from a feeling of burden and obligation to a feeling and embodiment of abundance, which I know sounds cheesy, but abundance and being and pleasure and joy and play. And I know maybe sometimes our female ancestors have had a relationship to play, whether that's dance, whether that's jokes, whether that's whatever. And some of us, if those family members kind of sucked, might reject those parts of play, even though there's some genetic predisposition to, let's say dance or singing or music or art or whatever. It can be really easy to reject the baby with the bathwater, to use a very common cliche expression, to reject the play because that person was traumatizing. And so this work can really help us integrate all of these different varied aspects of our lineage, our family trauma, our ancestor spirits, however recent or distant they might happen to be. And that's part of why this work is so powerful. And I honestly think it's a very important thing that everyone should be doing, at least at some point. And maybe right now you don't feel ready to face that. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to. And you don't have to do it ever. But I do think that if you can get there, when you get there, it can be a very healing, if not challenging, process to go through spiritually, mentally, emotionally. To begin to just look at, okay, what was the role of the women in my family? What was the behavior of the women in my family? What have I unconsciously repeated? And does that work for me? Or do I want a different life? Do I want a different type of embodiment? And if you do, it's available to you. Take some time, take some energy, but it's possible. It's going to be definitely part of what I'm talking about in my brand new master course, which I'm currently having on soft launch pre-sale right now, Feminine Energy Without Bullshit. If you're familiar with my other big ass courses, Tarot Without Bullshit or Magic Without Bullshit, you'll be familiar with the format. So there's 10 modules, jam-packed with information, worksheets, private community, group coaching, everything you could ever need to help you along this journey. And the point of this is the fucking journey. It's about personal transformation. It's about healing that stuff that you never even knew was there to be healed. That stuff that you didn't even know could be healed. It's merging witchcraft, magic, spirituality with personal growth, personal transformation, a complete internal alchemy. Ancestral work is also self-work. And I think a lot of people forget that when they avoid ancestor-based spiritual practice. When we heal our ancestors, we heal ourselves. When we attend to our ancestors, we attend to ourselves. When we're giving offerings and making altars to our ancestors, we are essentially, basically, giving altars and offerings and healing and attention and time to ourselves. Wherever you go, there you are. Whatever patterns you have, I would rather that be a conscious choice with awareness and consideration rather than just your default mode that doesn't really serve you. You can learn more about my course at sabrinamscott.com/FEWOBS. That is FEWOBS, Feminine Energy Without Bullshit, FEWOBS. After the Sabrina M. Scott, it's /FEWOBS. If you can't figure it out, send me an email at ceo@sabrinamscott.com. And I've got one spot left for Feminine Energy one-on-one coaching package of 5-hour-long sessions for $600. Super affordable compared to what I usually ask for my tarot rates. So this is a special introductory price because I'm still figuring out my methodologies, the method to my madness for the feminine energy coaching stuff. So if this is something that calls to you, please send me an email. I would love to fit you in my schedule and get someone in that one last spot. I'm so excited to offer this. I had the first 2 one-on-one sessions on Friday and it was fire. It was so, so good. So if you think this is for you, if whether or not you're going to be interested in the course, whatever. I know some people are going to do the course and the one-on-one. Some people just the course, some people just the one-on-one. But if you do think that you're someone that would benefit from that one-on-one, 100% of my attention, energy, and brain cells are on you and helping you heal, giving you homework for your exact situation, hit me up. I would love to hear from you. Okay, beautiful people. thank you so much for listening. This has been the Secrets of a Witch podcast with me, Sabrina Scott. If you dig the podcast, please do share it with a friend or two. Please do write a glowing happy review. Please do give it a 5-star rating. And if you hate this podcast, my friend, please go touch grass and listen to a different one. Okay, lovelies. Talk to you soon. Bye.